Hey, it's me again. We're going to talk a little bit about scales today. Scales are a big part of technique and are a wonderful way of being able to practice technique. Now, we're going to talk about Group 1 scales. Group 1 scales all use the same scale fingering, and it's 5 relatively easy scales to learn and are a great foundation for being able to play any scale. So the Group 1 scales, first one will be C major, no sharps or flats. We'll also do G with 1 sharp, D with 2 sharps, A with 3 sharps, and E with 4 sharps. So we have C, G, D, A, and E, 5 scales that all use the same fingering. Let me show you a little bit about that. So we're going to use C major, that's the easiest one to start with, and then we don't have to worry about the sharps and flats for right now. But really that part's not hard at all. We'll use the same fingering with any of those. But starting on C major, we're going to be going C through C. I'm just going to go 1 octave for starters. My right hand scale fingering will be simply 1, 2, 3. I'm going to place my thumb under to go to F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I can go back down. 4, 3, 2, 1. My 3 crosses over. 3, 2, 1. I'll do that again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to use proper technique for that. I'm going to make sure my hand has that nice curved round shape. I have the mirror image of a C going from my second finger to my thumb in the right hand. And I'm making sure I'm playing on those tips, those button fingers. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. I can go up a couple octaves. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put my thumb under one more time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Notice my wrist is loose. It's moving, but it's not extremes. It's being a light wrist. It's moving just a little bit. I'm making sure each finger is played firmly. In fact, I want to make sure that each note sounds. Don't brush across the notes. Make sure each note sounds so that you have them. And as you're practicing, aim to make each note equal across. So we're not, don't have anything, like where we're moving our hands and we can hear where we made those transitions. But as that's a fairly good example where it's equalized all across. Even though I'm doing some differences of fingering, I have my tuck under and my crossover, it's really making the sound the same across. Let's do it with the left hand. So the left hand, I'll start from the top. It's going to be the exact same fingering, except I'm going to go backwards. 1, 2, 3, thumb under, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Or I can go 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So I have my entire scale in there. Now, I don't have to start at the top and go just the opposite way. I can just start backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So that my hands can go the same. That's called parallel scales. There's also contrary scales, and that would be what we were. In fact, I would recommend in learning the scale fingering, start with the contrary scale, because that means both hands are going to be doing the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. But eventually you're going to want to get to the parallel scales. And one of the easiest things to get in, to recognize when you're playing parallel scales is we watch for the 3s. That's really all I need to watch for. Check this out. My hands, I'll say the finger numbers for starters. My left hand is on 5, my right hand is on 1. Now left hand 4, right hand 2. Both hands 3s. Now left hand 2, my right hand thumb's going to tuck under. Left hand thumb, right hand 2. Both hands 3. Left hand 2, right hand 4. Left hand thumb, right hand 5. Now that's a lot to think about, but what if I just watch the 3s and do it comes naturally? So I'm just going to play fingers. 3s, 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 3s. And if my 3s aren't together, it's a sure sign that I'm not using the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I need to go back and make sure I'm using that fingering. The 3s will be together. That's the key thing. Even we go 2 octaves, the same thing. Watch for the 3s, and that makes scales really, really easy. To play in any other key, we can take G major. G major has 1 sharp. Fat cats go down, Ellie's eating backwards. F is that sharp. So we're going to have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Major, 2 sharps. Again, that little saying to memorize, fat cats go down, Ellie's eating backwards. F, C, fat cats. So we'll have an F sharp and a C sharp. So your group 1 scales include C, G, D, A, and E, and that takes up to 4 sharps. And that's a great group of scales to start practicing. Practice them in contrary motion, practice them in parallel motion, and it's a great start to learning the scales. As you're doing that, make sure you have proper hand technique. Make sure your hands are in the proper position, and that starts with making sure your body's in the right position. Hands in the right position, make sure it's played firmly. We have a loose wrist, we're using some arm weight, and you're playing it melodically and beautifully so that the notes are equalized apart. We don't have sudden little accents that are unexpected and unwanted, and you have a great sound playing scales, and it gives you a great foundation for playing any kind of music. Enjoy!